What I was sharing earlier, that longing is the energy of desire. Longing is, and especially in your case, Vinita, you've touched in the workshop, you've touched the energy of life inside you. The longing is sitting there. Life is longing. The flower is longing for the sun. The seed is longing for expression. Longing is a very powerful movement of life. It is, the self trying to, seeking to realize itself. And it is a longing. It's something, it's not just an energy pushing like this, but it's also, I want. And it makes you restless. And this is what it is so interesting. Because when we touch that longing, and if we put it at the right place, then you have an energy that's not never going to leave you sleeping for very long. For me, my longing is very strong, and I cannot stop. I cannot stop. I can try to stop sometime, and I break like everyone else. So I'm here and say, okay, finish, katam. I will never recover from that one. And within 10 hours, I'm up and running again because of the longing. So it's a good thing. It's a very good thing. Rumi wrote all his poetry on the basis of his longing. Now the question is, where do we put it? And so the longing will go into habits, because habits are like channels. So when the energy of longing is coming, it's going into, if we have the habit of chocolate, then it's going to go into the chocolate, because if you have the habit of socializing, then it goes into socializing. Or we can invest the longing into, for me, I put it into two main places. I put it into three main places. The first one is my purpose, because I know very well my purpose, my mission in this world, why I'm here. I know very clearly why I'm here. I cannot always do it properly, but I know exactly why I am here. And so I am investing the longing in that place, because that is something I can fulfill. And it's something very good for me and for the world. So when the longing comes, if I know I'm longing to go out and go with a friend, then I'm redirecting it into my purpose. I'm redirecting it also in my relationship with God, in my relationship with the higher dimension. When now I feel that longing to go out, I turn it up, and because I know there's something magnificently beautiful to touch on that level also. That is very satisfying. So my longing also goes there. And my longing also goes into that vision of a new world that I hold in front of me, because that's also something very beautiful and very fulfilling. So then it's the question of, where do I invest my longing? And it's a question of, the world is going to be a different place, and it is already a different place. In some aspect, it's going to be harder, because I see a lot of things tightening and not going into a very sweet direction. And then on the other side, if you already have a sense of service to others, then this is the time to really intensify that, to really empower your own, the contribution you're making to other people's life. Because I feel before going into networks, we need to be very strong individuals also. Then we can network meaningfully without creating dependencies and without looking for a support system, but really bring our contribution. And this is coming from, again, self-awareness, identifying your own purpose, why you are here, what is your fruit, what is your contribution to the world, and really putting power into that, like in the same way as you develop a company, in the same way as you go into, people usually invest that into earning money. For me, I've invested it into making my contribution. And so I feel in the new, after COVID, and in that new world in which we are entering, for people like us, this is going to emerge even stronger. And we need to cooperate with that. We need to really do it properly, do it powerfully, do it with an increased momentum and conviction, because the world needs it. The world really needs it. Yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Frederic.
Because we are really at the time also, and I'm really emphasizing that, both because it's been the journey of my life, but also because I really see the possibility. We are at a time where it is possible to combine our service and our finance. I mean, in my time, if you wanted to really do something for the world, you had to be extremely smart to make money with it.
Yeah.
Today, it's becoming, I will not say easy, but it's becoming very possible. And many people are doing that now. They are really making their contribution. And for me, it's been a long process, because I've been operating on 20%, because I was compromising, thinking, no, I cannot do that and earn money with that. It's too spiritual. It's too. But then I saw some people who were doing it. And so the more I'm going in what I'm doing now is something I want to do since 20 years, but I was not allowing myself to do it. And I see that I'm operating much more effectively now, and financially also, that when I was trying to, fit myself into doing half of what I should do, because I don't know if they will understand, if they blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. For me, I
So
have
the
to still
possibility
cross
today
that
of
barrier.
bringing no contribution. Yeah, so it's a journey, because we've got a number of mental blocks. We have a lot of blocks that prevent us to really do that, to really combine, entrepreneurship and your commitment to the growth of mankind, and to really service, proper service, without compromise. It's possible to do that. The world is ready. People are ready for that.
Right. So it is possible to earn the money and do the right thing for the world as well. I mean, what
Yeah, of course.
is right?
Yes. But again, it's that thing between the two, the old system dying, and in the old system, this is impossible. In the old system, you need to do a lot of hatha yoga to fit into your position, and to force yourself to live a life you don't like, to earn the money that you're going to spend on things you don't love, and to ruin your life, basically.
Yeah.
But in the new system, it's a very different dynamic, and the new system is big also. There are many freelancers now. And there are many people who are tired of those big structures, because everyone knows they are lying all the time.
Yeah.
So they're looking for people who are real, for people with a real thing to offer. And the real thing is your own experience. You organize it properly. It's a process, of course, to do that, but people are looking for that. They're looking for guides, for real support. There's so much fake stuff around them. Hmm.
Ankit has another question. I think Revti was also has her hand up. So I guess Revti, you go first, and then we'll take Ankit's question.
So, in this COVID time, I really felt I've been utilizing this time to focus on myself, because I believe whenever there is a turmoil, it's time to go inside. And frankly speaking, I'm very, very blessed to have this, me time. I'm not happy about what is happening around, and I'm definitely I'm not, liking the way people are suffering. But I also, when I try to find something positive, you know I actually am feeling that I'm much closer to myself and much closer to people that really mean to me.
Yes.
When I say I mean to me, in a sense, I sometimes think that if these circumstances were not there, and if my work schedule wouldn't have allowed me to join SML with you in Rajasthan, I would have just missed it maybe. But today, because of the technology, we are able to actually
Yes.
communicate every week. Which
Yes.
I feel is a very, very good blessing.
Mm.
It's a blessing indeed.
Mm.
And I feel that we have learned that if we want to communicate, nothing can be a barrier if we
Mm.
actually invest our time in building a strong bond. You know,
Yes,
there was a time when there was no email, there was no Zoom or anything, but people used to write letters and they used to wait for each other's letters to receive. And that's the kind of bonding people had. And today, though we are not able to meet each other physically, I am
yeah.
actually understanding very meaningful bonds that I am building. And
Mm.
moreover, what I'm really happy about is I'm not wasting my time in unnecessary, things which would actually pulling me down or my energy down. So
Yes,
the traffic time every day, the 2-3 hours I was just driving my car, I'm able to put it in my exercise. I'm able
yes.
to put it in cooking something that's actually healthy for me.
Mm.
And where I don't have to depend on processed food because of shortage of time. I
Yes,
have the time and the resources to cook something. And in
exactly.
my family also, initially everyone was quite tense, whether we are gonna have sufficient food resources and all that. So I started last week on a fasting mode, in which I only eat 6 hours in one day, and the next day I totally fast. Okay,
Mm.
so if I actually calculate that, I'm eating only during 6 hours. Okay, whatever I feel like eating, whatever is cooked at home. After that, I go for like 40 hours fast. And again, the third day I eat something. Again, the next day I go for fast, like that. I just wanted to do it for my own realization. And the biggest
Mm.
realization that this time has given me is that we don't need so much to live happily. Even
Of
our
course.
body also don't need that much. And everyone at my home was worried, oh, you will have headaches, you will have low energy, what are you doing with yourself? I'm actually finding myself more focused and doing meaningful things, because I'm not thinking about what to cook next all the time.
Of course.
And this entire cycle that we have got ourselves into, ki this thing should happen 9 o'clock because breakfast is supposed to happen that time, then we should go for office, then lunch, then afternoon calls, then this is a cycle, that structure actually nobody decided, but we have brought
Yeah.
it upon us. Someone's
Yes.
mind thought it and everyone is following it blindly. And this COVID is actually giving me this time to experiment the way my body or my mind actually wants to have the schedule. And I'm blessed to
Exactly.
do that. My day is actually every morning my first Zoom call at work, because I'm studying also and I'm working also. So I'm actually preparing
Right.
for 2 exams right now, which I'm gonna give in somewhere in June and September, and I'm working also. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I couldn't hear you.
Go
Yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you is that I'm working since 7:30 in the morning, and it goes like 8:30. So 13 hours of working. But I am satisfied with what I'm doing. This was
One
not
week.
at all possible earlier. This was not at all possible earlier. And we were wasting our time in traveling and doing things that actually don't bring any happiness or any satisfaction to us.
Yes. Yes.
So given the choice, I even if the lockdown opens, I would like to have this privilege that what if someday I want to lock myself down in my house for a week? I would like
Mm.
to keep that privilege.
Mm.
And
right.
I really want to have that me right, you know, because nothing is hampering. My work is going absolutely well,
But of course.
absolutely well, nothing is hampering,
Of
you
course.
know. And I would actually I this is a privilege that I don't want anyone to take away from me. Rather, I have realized that this is how I want to have my future life, that if I am not really launching to meet everyone, because meeting a lot of people also have some disadvantage. There are so many energy exchanges that happen that actually we are not willing to receive. You
Of
know,
course.
when you want to keep your aura really really purified and really super pure, and you're actually working on your aura, you're actually working on building that inner system, you don't want to come across anyone. There are many times when you don't want to even shake hands with people just because it's a protocol, you know. And I am liking it because I'm not actually coming across that energy exchange, and I'm able to actually understand what my pure soul, my pure energy could be possibly, you know, because there are so many restrictions that lockdown has right now put, but I'm able to actually look inside me. Oh, this is real me. Oh, this is how my energy is, you know. And that's a wonderful realization to know what you exactly are. I mean, since birth I never got this chance, because the
Yes.
moment I started understanding something, someone say, hey, you need to go to playgroup, you need to go to nursery, then you need to go to first standard. I never knew what I really wanted to, and what does it feel like to be me.
Yes.
So I am really happy, and I, you know, some people may not agree with me, but whatever comes, you know, it's all about how you look at it. If you want to make really best use of it, it's going to be positive. If you are going to think that, oh, it's going to make my life worse, then any which way you are right. So I am, from the first day itself, from the lockdown itself, I had this mindset that I want to make this the best time of my life.
Mm.
And I couldn't have achieved what I have achieved since 22nd of March. You know, the things that I have achieved in last 1 month or more, so I couldn't have done that even in 3 months time, you know, given the normal schedule. Because every day I'm wasting so much time traveling. I have to talk to people that don't really, I don't even care, but you know, just to keep the things going on, and blah 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 blah. Oh, hi, how are you? You know, now I'm happy to have things in my life that are really really meaningful to me. And on the other hand, even if the world is suffering, there are ways to contribute and make things better. You know, I feel everyone should have their own purpose in life, to make things really really better. And I feel everyone should have their own purpose, and this is the best time to find the purpose. If each one of us find that purpose, the world is going to be totally different. And I really don't think I should be thinking about world. Even if my inner world changes now, and if that happens for everyone, world is anyway going to change for better.
Yes.
So I really wanted to share this because I don't
Mm.
think any other set of people can understand this. And this is the best group where I know people are gonna completely understand this.
Mm.
Because if I go and tell them that actually I'm enjoying lockdown, people will think, oh, I'm loving it because I'm having time with family, or I'm making good
Mm.
recipes. No, no,
Mm.
no. It's not about recipes. It's
No.
actually about, since birth I never even you know, observed that I was actually having shallow breath. With your
Mm.
practices, I actually realized that I need to breathe from the
Mm.
belly,
Mm.
you know. And I realized that, oh, why am I really not taking the full breath? And what is that life where you don't even get a second or a minute in so many years to observe that you're actually breathing shallow? I mean, it struck me, oh, how could I never observe it? And what kind of life I was living, you know?
Yeah. So I guess we have limited time again. So we'll
So this time is the best time.
take other questions as well, Revati.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So, Frederic, would you like to respond to or say something about what Revati shared?
What
Yeah, obviously.
Revati share or?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't
Other
read the
question-
question.
There are other questions. For example, Ankit is asked, will the world change for better after COVID, or will it make us paranoid, resulting in more differences and divide?
Akit is here or not? He's not here, no?
Ankit is here.
He's not here.
He's here.
Ankit is here, but this is Akit's question that you're sharing.
Yeah, Anik's
What-
question. This is Anik's question. He is not here. He asked me to ask ask from you, and then we can share the
Acha.
topic with him. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just to pick up very quickly on what Revati shared, this is very true and this is very beautiful
Yes.
because this is spot on what needed to be done during that lockdown. And I believe it's one of the most important things we can do for ourselves to really organize ourselves, because we know very well how to organize ourselves. And we live in a system that is constantly organizing us, but it's messing us up badly. But as you say, so many things that are just protocol that we need to do and that really confuse us, spoil our energy, waste our time, make us confused, make us, and the opportunity you had, Revati, is fantastic, and you really took it wonderfully to reorganize your life completely from your own, from your own feeling, from your own purpose, from your own way of understanding your life, and it works much better than before, I'm sure. You're more happy, you're probably as and maybe more effective at work because you know what you're doing. And there is that intelligence inside every one of us, and this is what we need to grow. Because that system of, if you are organized from the outside, it's totally unproductive. Makes us operate. You see the time you were wasting in traffic jam, in stupid conversation. You have 6 hours a day gone in the bin every day like this. And it is such a waste of our potential, such a waste of what we can give, and such a waste of good feelings also. It's not pleasant. So thank you for sharing that. It's really very, very beautiful, very true, and paka. So Akit's question, is the world going to be a better place after that? I touched on that in the beginning. It seems to me, and I think that's what's going to happen, that after COVID, the movement of separation between the emerging new and the dying old is going to increase. It's going to go with greater intensity. So for me, after COVID, I'm expecting two things. I'm expecting some really bad stuff because it's showing up already. It's coming, and I don't see why it should stop, because too many people are operating on fear. Too many people are operating on doing things that they don't understand themselves. They do things because someone tells them to do things, because fear is projecting them into greed, into fighting, into all the nonsense that we see everywhere today. So this, I don't think is going to reduce, because COVID has put a lot of wood in the fire of fear. Means people were afraid 70%. Now those people were afraid 70% are afraid 90%. One French doctor recently, I was watching his interview, he's curing people. France at the moment is in a situation where the government has forbidden people to buy masks. Can you imagine? And they've forbidden the use, not forbidden, but they try to block the use of the simple medicine that China, India is using to cure people. They are blocking that. No one understands what they are doing. And that doctor is in the middle of a huge controversy because he's using those medicine like all doctors who are practical do, and he's attacked by the government. And he was saying in his interview, I don't know what's going on, but France at the moment is in a state of nervous breakdown. The media, the government, everyone is completely gone out of their head, like panicking completely for something that's not so big. That guy was explaining COVID is not a big thing. We know what that kind of virus is. We know how epidemic moves. It's no big deal. In 2 months, it's gone. So yes, it needs some strong action, but there's no need to panic. We have the science to deal with those things, not you. And so on one side, yes, the panic is there, and the medias are blowing it up like nothing. It's also manipulated. So there's a lot of dirty stuff that's going to happen after COVID. But we, who have a bit of sense in our head, who have a true heart, and we want to, a true heart, a good heart. We want to do something with our life. We want to live. We want to feel good with ourselves. We want to give something valuable to the world. Then for us, it's an opportunity. And what is going to be the future? There are two answers to that. There is an answer that is a cosmic pattern, and the Indian tradition knows that there are cosmic cycles, and that we are, I mean, everyone has heard that, it's mainstream information, that we're coming out of the age of darkness and moving into an age of a much higher energy level. And higher energy level means clearer consciousness, more empowered heart, more self-control, means we can, because we do stupid things because we lack energy. I don't know if you've noticed, but when you're really empowered, you operate properly usually. You're loving, you're good, you want to share something. But when energy goes down, then go into dependency, go into all kind of stuff that's really not clear, and we lose control on ourselves just because our energies have dropped. And so cosmically, Indian tradition knows, and Western astrologers know that, it's been predicted all over the world since the beginning of the century and from before, that we are entering into a completely different energy field. The energies of the planet are raising, which means our energies are raising. And what we've seen in the last 30 years, there's been a tremendous awakening in mankind. It's massive. The number of people, it's not connected, so it doesn't look like it's big, but there are millions of people on the planet today who have opened their heart and their intellect to the possibility that life can be a fantastic thing instead of, pain sitting at the office. And so cosmically, this is happening, and it's an energy thing, and it works through us. So at that level, we have to, it's happening. It's happening. The planet is shifting. The energy fields of the planet are shifting, and therefore our energies shift. And when our energies shift, our thinking is shifting, our emotions are shifting, our motives, our desires are shifting. And at the moment, this is on the increasing mode. So that's the cosmic mechanism, and it is happening. We can work with it, flow with it, or we can try to block it, because of course it brings change, it brings transformation. And so today, a big part of the world is trying to block that thing with more war, with more fear, with more bad news, and more control, and more beating, and more of that stuff to block that newness, because it brings a radical change. And then for us who understand, who feel the need to live in harmony, to live in love, to share something, then for us, we are entering a period of growth. And that's what I was sharing with Vineta, that it is very important today that we take very seriously our desire to feel good with ourselves, because that's the foundation. Our desire to contribute something of value to the world, because many people go into entrepreneurship, but they don't realize that they make a mess. They earn money, but they make a mess. And so that's not an option either. And those two things, we really need to take them very seriously and to organize them like professionally, I will say. To see the contribution, the thing that you want to bring to the world, and to organize it as if you are organizing a business. I'm doing that since 10 years. I'm very bad at it. But to look at it like an entrepreneurship, like something that I need to bring out in the world with strength that allows me to live and that makes an impact. And the bigger the impact, the better for everyone.
I think we can take a last question from Tejinder. He has raised his hand. We have 6 minutes to go. Tejinder, you can ask.
Yeah. So yeah, Frederic, hi. So I had a question that when in the lockdown, we are sitting in the home. So the tiredness of being doing nothing. Sometimes you have a timetable. It's not that I don't have but I have a timeline. So it's that you prepare a timeline, but the time goes like anything, and from the morning to evening, it is hardly I'm able to focus actually. Is it really, and it not time to separate. I usually take time from us. Like I don't. Fraction is not like very much worried about the current situation, and then the other one is more thinking can we can also utilize this time period for for own good and self, but it's not happening. That the focus is diverting like anything. So what do you say, like how can I do that? It's like it's
You need several things for that. That's what we are exploring in the workshop that I'm conducting. You need several key elements for that. I'm suffering from that also. Today, I've lost 3 hours at least. And at the moment, I'm highly focused because that lockdown is my chance. That's the moment I was waiting for. So I'm highly motivated at the moment. But today, I've been like going all over the place. And there are several things because there is an aspect of motivation. Our motivation is different layers of depth. Some of us are motivated because we have to do something. The boss has asked us, or we do it because we need cash to survive. That's a weak motivation. It doesn't hold you properly. And then you've got deeper motive, like you do the things you love. That's already more motivating. You love it, so it's not an effort. It's a joy to do it. And then you've got an even deeper level, which is when you find your real purpose in life. And then that thing, there's no way you're not going to do it because this is your life. You're prepared to die for that. You're prepared to really put the entire energy of, and this is a fire burning. So that's the first aspect. You need to look at the motivation side of it. Are you doing what you really want to do, what you are really designed to do? And for most of us, I don't know your case, but for most people on the planet today, the answer is unfortunately not. They're not doing what they are designed to do. They are forcing themselves into shoes that are not their size. And so, of course, it's not motivating. You have to push all the time to push, to push, to push, to push. So I don't know what is your situation, but that's the first thing to look at. What is the intensity of my motivation? How am I personally involved into my motivation? Because motivation is something that it is a fire, it's the drive inside. So I need to really want it. If I don't want it, it's very hard. Very hard. And I need someone to force me. And in a situation of lockdown when no one is forcing you, then finish, cut down. Butterfly mode. Or lazy cat mode. Because why should I move my ass, I don't really like it. I don't really want it.
and
So that's the first thing,
yeah.
the motivation side. The second thing, you have an energy thing inside that question. There are, we still together?
We are, but we don't have much time. Less than a minute.
Okay.
So I guess we call
Okay.
it a day, and we can have it sometime later. Yeah.
Okay. So the second thing is an energy thing. You've got some ways of energizing yourself. With food, with breathing, with exercise, with thoughts. And that is important to look at also. Because sometimes we have the motivation, but we don't have the stamina. We don't have the energy.